Surprise! $800 check for Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, and Medicare beneficiaries. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, so a few weeks ago, I was out in a separate video giving you an update on a one-time $800 check specifically focused on about 63 million beneficiaries of those benefits I just mentioned a few seconds ago. However, over the last couple weeks here, things have changed, so I now want to give you an update on where we currently stand with this one-time $800 payment for those millions upon millions of beneficiaries. So let's get into it and discuss all the details and, of course, where we currently stand. So let's get right into it. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as things are changing very rapidly right now as we continue to see all these new bills, piece of legislation, reform to these very important programs, as well as announcements out of Congress, announcements out of the administration and the president, as well as money, benefits, programs, checks, stimulus, and anything else we can possibly get our hands on right here, right now. There's a lot going on. Things are changing rapidly, so please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so you can stay updated with all of these changes as they continue to hit the wire every single day. And of course, I'll continue doing the research and breaking it down into these short videos so you can stay tuned with what is actually going on and how it's going to impact all of us going forward. So thanks again. Let's get into it and discuss all the details as far as where we currently stand and what is going on with this one-time $800 check. All right, so if you saw that video from a few weeks ago, here's what it comes down to. A number of months ago, we saw out of the senior Senate Democrats, they came out with this great idea to send out a one-time $800 check to about 63 million people as a result of Medicare expansion, right? Medicare for all, or even just expanding Medicare to include hearing, dental, and vision coverage. Do you remember all this? We've talked about it a number of times here because there have been a number of different changes on this. Well, over time, that $1,000 that was supposed to be initially was actually brought down to $800. So they were going to be sending it out as a one-time $800 prepaid card. They were supposed to be using it on dental, right? So remember all this? This is what it comes down to. Well, here's what's interesting about it. About a month and a half or so ago, we got this new information out of Congress where they were presenting this new reconciliation bill. Remember all this detail? So they came out as Joe Manchin and Chuck Schumer were working on this reconciliation bill behind closed doors. Well, one of the provisions within it was to allow Medicare once again to expand and start negotiating pharmaceutical prices for those pharmacy prescriptions. Well, there was a little bit of hope in there this whole time that this $800 one-time check would also be included because, remember, the whole idea behind the original proposal for this one-time $800 check was to expand Medicare to include hearing, dental, and vision coverage. So there was some back and forth talk thinking, hey, Medicare expansion is going to be in this reconciliation bill. They're going to be allowed to have special privileges to start negotiating out pharmacy prescription prices, right? So as a result of that, there were many lawmakers who were coming out also suggesting, hey, as long as we're at it, why don't we just also expand Medicare because this will be in the reconciliation bill as well, right? It all kinds of makes sense. As long as we're fixing up Medicare, why not do all this other stuff at the same time? Well, that's where that $800 one-time card came in that was going to be going out to those 63 million people where you could spend it on, where you're supposed to be spending it on was dental procedures, right? But then at the end of the day, as we also talked about many times in previous videos, was there's really not a way for them to kind of govern how this money would be spent. Yes, they'd be giving it to us in a prepaid card, but at the end of the day, how do we spend it? Again, there was really no way for them to monitor that. So as a result of that, that was one of the concerns across some of the lawmakers where they wanted to make sure that this money was actually being spent on dental procedures rather than us going out and buying food and gas and groceries. At the end of the day, not really sure why it matters, but that's something that they wanted to make sure that we were doing. Spending it on dental because that was the whole deal with them taking out dental coverage from Medicare expansion. All right, so here's what it comes down to. Long story short, I apologize. I wanted to give you kind of the background as far as where that comes in, the $800 payment, and where we currently stand as of right now. All right, so this reconciliation bill that they are working on, here are the details about it. Well, it's going to include Medicare expansion as far as Medicare allowing the privileges to start negotiating out some of these pricings on pharmaceuticals, right? So prescription items. However, does it contain the $800 card? Well, you guessed it, huge surprise. No, it does not. So, another great idea, another great card that they wanted to present, another great card that was in the works. They had it working on this thing, and all of a sudden, there was so much hope that it was going to be in this package, giving some fixed income beneficiaries a little bit of relief in the form of this one-time $800 card. And here we are with the reconciliation bill, and sure enough, it's not in there. So, are we surprised? Honestly, at this point, I don't think anything surprises us anymore, right? So, we have so many proposals like this. We have so many different ideas, packages, so many great things that continue to come out and be introduced by Congress. And then again, at the end of the day, it seems like almost get nothing done, right? So, it's really discouraging once again, but this card did not make the cut. So, again, I want to throw this out there as well, just so that we can't say like, oh, it's never coming. I wouldn't say that much. Here's why. But at the same time, I also want to say this much. I'm not going to say that it is coming for sure either. But here's the thing. We also do know that there are many lawmakers out there in Congress right now who still want to expand Medicare beyond where it currently is now. They still want to add hearing, dental, and vision coverage into the bill. This is something that's very important, including Bernie Sanders, who happens to be one of the top negotiators, top senators on this, who's kind of working on this. But it seems like, yet again, another great idea has been put on the back burner, and maybe they will revisit this thing at some point. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with this, because between now and the midterm elections, realistically, they're probably not going to work on Medicare expansion anymore. The reason for that is they're not going to get it done between now and then. There's just no way. There's no time anymore. They've basically wasted all the time that they needed to get this thing done. It's going to take longer than just a couple months to get this thing done. So the likelihood of them bringing up Medicare expansion again prior to the midterm election probably won't be happening, because they can only work on things pretty much right now through the end, or through, I should say, the midterm elections that they know that they can get done or have a very high likelihood of getting done, because they need a win, right? We've talked about this many times before. They need a win before the midterm elections. Well, if they bring up Medicare expansion right now, they might not be able to have that as a win, right? It might not be able to make it through Congress and give them a win. Well, are they going to work on something that's not going to give them a win between now and the midterm elections? Probably not. They only want to have bills and pieces of legislation going through that they can actually get done, and they know have a very high probability of actually passing. So I guess there's still a little bit of hope out there that these checks maybe will come through. But as of right now, there was a lot of talk, and there was some discussion about adding it into the reconciliation bill, a one-time $800 prepaid card to go out to about 63 million people, primarily receiving Medicare. But again, that also includes Social Security, retirement, SSDI, and of course, Social Security beneficiaries. So as a result of that, these are the beneficiaries who would have been getting it, 63 million people. Well, as of right now, looks like we'll need to wait another day in order to get that. So it makes me wonder, I wonder what they're going to come up with now and next as far as the next great idea to get money and or cards or something out to the people. Just like those prepaid gas cards that they were supposed to be doing way back in late March, early April. Remember those? $100 per month for every month that the gas was above $4 a gallon. Again, they'd still be owing us some money, right? So anyway, just another side note. I want to throw that out there, but of course, I'll continue watching all this closely as I do get more details on anything, including this $800 prepaid card or maybe any other cards like this that are coming forward, any types of payments, money, checks, programs, or anything else. Of course, I'll be right here for you, breaking it all down and letting you know what's going on and how we may be able to take advantage of what is actually going on right now during this time. So, hope this one helps you out. Again, please remember, I'm just the messenger. I'm bringing you the information right out of Congress and what's going on there as far as what they're doing, or more like I should say, what they're not doing is probably a better explanation, right? But anyway, hopefully we can get something like this done soon. We'll have to see here. Like I've been saying for a while now, it's going to get busy. The closer that we get between now and the midterm elections, it's just going to continue to get busier and busier and busier because they're scrambling to try to get something done before then. So anyway, I'll keep you posted. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next video. Thanks again.